It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
A good Saturday evening. Welcome to the Saville Community Sports Center on the south side of Edmonton. It is semi-final Saturday in the U Sports Women's Basketball Final 8 Championships. My name is Mark Rougeau. Pleased to be joined alongside Kira Lyons and Doug McLean as we have two fantastic semifinal matchups. First up, we have the number one seed Saskatchewan Huskies taking on the Laval Rouge A, or Saskatchewan had a dominant 85-54 victory over Calgary in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Laval knocked off the home side Alberta Pandas 65-57 in the quarterfinals. Kira, I'll start with you. This Saskatchewan Huskies team, they are a well-oiled machine and they are firing on all cylinders right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty scary to come up against at any point in this tournament. We had talked about it before, but the experience last year being number one in the country, getting knocked off, and then having that opportunity to kind of redeem themselves this year makes them pretty dangerous, I think.
And Doug, there's a reason why we play the games. Laval came in. I know the seating was really close, but it's safe to say they were the underdogs against Alberta. A raucous crowd here on Thursday night. They did what they needed to do, and you get the sense they're ready to try to do it again. It's a very good Saskatchewan team.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the broadcast on Thursday, just how deep this field is. So, I mean, if Laval was an underdog at all, even as the higher seed, it's really just simply because they were playing right in the backyard of their opponent in Alberta. But what I loved about Laval's game on Thursday was just how steady they were. We talk about that with the Huskies. I thought the Rouge were the same way. Pandas got up early. Laval never panicked. They were just so patient, knowing their offense was going to come, and eventually it did, and they never really looked back. So I just thought a really steady performance by them in a bit of a hostile environment. Credit to them. It was a really, really well-played game by Laval.
Kira, when you think about this Saskatchewan team, depth is the word that comes to mind. And while they do have depth, they're certainly led offensively by two players in particular, Carly Alstrup and Gage Grasick.
Yeah, their leaders are definitely offensively are those two, but on any given night they have other girls going off all the time, right? And they're really good at finding that, so that depth makes them scary, and the amount of weapons that they have, and the style of play can change all the time depending on who they're up against and also who's hot that night as well.
And Doug, for Laval, we mentioned their victory over Alberta. Leah Sophie Verrett, listen, we hadn't seen a ton of her out west, but boy, she had a coming out party on Thursday night and showed why she was the RSEQ Player of the Year and a first-team All-Star.
Yeah, I mean, just such a fun player to watch. Plays at a very high pace, but can do so many things. She plays like a true point guard at times, and yet she also plays like a true scorer at times, and that makes her really, really difficult to defend. We saw that in spades on Thursday, and she's a huge key for them today if they're going to find a way to knock off the number one seeded Huskies.
They're going to look at the Saskatchewan Huskies. I'll say it's a pro-Saskatchewan crowd tonight, just about a 4.5-hour drive from Saskatoon to Edmonton, but the crowds have been fantastic all weekend long. As we mentioned, semi-final Saturday. This one, the winner of this game gets a date in the gold medal matchup tomorrow evening. But before we get there, we have to focus on the game at hand. I believe we're going to take a quick pause for a land acknowledgement, and we'll get to the national anthems, keys to the game, starting lineups, and more. You're watching the semifinal Saturday on CBC Sports. It is Saskatchewan versus Laval. Saskatchewan, two-time U Sports champions, 2016 and 2020. They are the reigning gold medalists in Canada West. Meanwhile, the Laval Rouge are the RSEQ champions with a record of 16-0 in conference play, looking to keep their win streak going. Let's take a look at the starting five for Laval. No changes for the lineup that defeated Alberta on Thursday night. It will be number 2, Florence Fortin. Number 3, Frédéric Beaudry-Blais. Number 4, Léa Sophie Verrette. Number 12, Sabrine Khalifi. And number 22, Astan Diarra. Kira, I'll start with you. What is the key to victory for Laval tonight?
I think they really got to keep the pace of the game up. They're a very offensive team, lots of firepower, love to shoot the ball, but they might give up a little bit inside in terms of size and efficiency around the rim. So they got to run the floor, they got to keep that high energy up, and quick scores, you know, and confidence in their offense, which, I mean, we saw that in buckets yesterday.
And Doug, same question for you. If Laval wants to win tonight, what's the key to victory?
I think the big thing is don't let the Huskies escape. We've seen that with so many teams in the playoffs where they're close for a bit and then the Huskies just start to build a lead that you can't get back on. Laval has quick strike offense, but they cannot let the Huskies get away from them here. They got to keep it tight.
And now let's take a look at the starting five for the Saskatchewan Huskies wearing their green uniforms with white trim. It will be number 3, Carly Ahlstrom. Number 4, Taya DeMong. Number 5, Gage Grasick. Number 7, Andrea Dodig. And number 15, Courtney Primo. Kira, what's the key to victory for Saskatchewan?
I think they just got to play their game. You know, they can't get caught up in the chaos and the energy that is Laval, and they just need to stick to their game plan, control the pace, and I think that if they slow the game down a little bit, they'll be pretty successful.
And Doug, same question. What do the Huskies got to do to get a victory tonight?
Well, I think one thing to kind of build on what Kira said, but one specific thing is really limit those transition threes. That's what Laval loves to do. They'll look for those on the break, and they've got the shooters that can do it. 2 best shooters in the country during the regular season. Saskatchewan, a really good transition team themselves defensively, but that I think is a big key. Make sure to identify shooters and get to them in transition.
We are almost set to get underway. Semifinal number 1 between Saskatchewan and Laval. It was Carly Ahlstrom doing the tip against Astan Diarra, and we are underway. Tip controlled by Laval. So just 2 seconds in. First inbound play, and Laval will have a chance to get their offense going.
It's old hat for these two teams. This is they've met at the last 2 nationals that they've each been at back in 2022 and in 2020.
As Beaudry-Blais misses the first shot of the game, and here comes Saskatchewan with speed. Dodig to DeMong to Grasick. Primo gives it right back to Grasick. Primo calling for it. Nice pass on the ground, up off the glass, and Taya DeMong opens up the scoring. Saskatchewan leads 2-0.
Just a beautiful cut there.
Khalifi directing traffic for Laval. With a burst of speed and a lane. Good job there by Grasick to defend. 3-pointer here by Beaudry-Blais is good. And that's a big shot for Laval early. Put them up by 1.
She's not even one of the shooters we talk about a lot, but she's 30% herself. Just, again, one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the nation. Number 2, tops in RSEQ.
Grasick drives, too strong. Primo tips that right to Verrette. And Verrette with her head up, charging down the floor, runs right at Dodig. And no foul call, but it will be Laval ball.
You get a good sense there just how good Saskatchewan is in transition defense. I mean, Verrette, she likes to burst out as quickly as she can, but Dodig back to defend her very well.
Like, incredible defense there, be able to stay straight up, get a piece of it, but just fearless from Verrette. Like, I know how frightening it can be as a 5'10" going in there, and as a 5'3", she just zero fear.
She answers back with a 3-pointer of her own. Ahlstrom looking for a response. That shot misses just to the left. Verrette across half. Hands it off. Beaudry-Blais. Floats it up. Diarra in the paint. Swarmed by 2 green jerseys. That will be a turnover, and it will be Husky ball. Grasick. In the semifinal, she had a game-high 19 points, or quarterfinals, excuse me. Finds Dodig. Back to Ahlstrom. Dodig. Drives. Grasick for three. Short. Good job there by Ahlstrom to collect the rebound. Dodig drives to her left. Floater in the lane, too strong. Tipped, and it's controlled by Verrett. Here comes Laval. Early lead in the first quarter. Fortin. That one rattles around, doesn't fall. Grasick with her head up. Directing traffic. Dodig. On the floor to Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom loses, stolen by Verrett. Khalifi with speed, but Verrett fakes right, goes left, makes no mistake. She's got 5 points early. Laval leads 8-2. Grasick to Ahlstrom for three. Too strong. Dodig tips that to Primo. She fights for it. Khalifi ends up with it with a burst of speed across half. Goes to her left, lays it up, gets the bucket, draws the foul. Laval has a chance to extend their lead. 10-2, the Rouge et Or lead.
Well, they're playing at the pace they want. That's what Laval's doing. They're pushing it right now, knocking down shots. And Saskatchewan just struggling to find shots of their own. 1 of 6 here in the early going from the field.
And it would be hard-pressed to find many games this season in which Saskatchewan finds himself down by 8. I know it's still very early. And we're going to have our first substitution for Laval, as Sabrine Khalifi will take a seat.
I'm not really sure what just happened here.
They both stepped in
Oh,
early
they
at
both,
the same time.
okay, that's
so,
what it was.
Yeah.
Imbert hands it off to Fortin. Too strong. DeMong there for the rebound, hands it off to Grasick, moves it quickly to Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom in traffic collides with, looked like Beaudry Blais. And she gives thumbs up, which is the international sign in sports for I'm okay.
Don't you dare take me out.
that's what that was. It was don't. I'm fine, I'm fine.
But it looks like she will take a breather as Elodie Lajoie will check in. If you're Laval, you have to be thrilled with how the first 3.5 minutes have gone in this one. They lead by 8 as Lajoie to Verrett. Lajoie. Imbert works over Murphy. Imbert goes up and hits the bottom of the rim. Hits the deck, finds Verrett. And a travel is called, so it will be Saskatchewan ball.
As much as we talk about Laval's speed and transition and how well, they run and they push the pace, they also run tremendous offense. Like, they have a lot of good things that they go to, and they run it very well. And when they played the Pandas, even when they were struggling to score, you can tell that they know who they are. They have an identity, and they stick to it, and they're very confident in it. And they have options when they don't have that look in transition, and they run good offensive sets.
Verrett with speed, zips it out in the corner. Good ball movement here. Beaudry Blais for three is good. 13-2. Laval leads. Saskatchewan calls timeout. 5:40 left in the first quarter. You're watching Semifinal Saturday on CBC Sports, U Sports Women's Basketball Final 8.
you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Welcome back inside the Saville Community Sports Center. They're going to look at Lisa Tomaitis in her 26th season behind the bench for Saskatchewan. And despite her team being down 11 points, looks very calm, cool, and collected in that huddle.
Yeah, and Kira, you've played for her. You know this better than Mark and I, but in a moment like this, 13-2 down, that's what you need. You need a coach to be, we're good. Like, you don't even need to bring it up. Everyone knows that it's been a struggle here in the first 4 minutes if you're a Husky fan. So the calm demeanor there, I think, is probably pretty important.
One, and it's seen in their style of play and has been, over however many years. Like, it's a calm confidence that just exudes from the players on the floor, and you don't get to be as good as they are without, coming back from a deficit. And so it's not like it's something they haven't done before, and they're getting good looks. They're just not converting right now, and so it's, those are going to fall. It's going to happen. Just play their game, stay confident.
Reeder. Jump shot. Too strong. Saskatchewan dominating the boards right now. Grassik's three is too strong. Verrett with the rebound.
And something we talked about over the break is just they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds as well. Not converting on them, but still getting a lot, and that's something Laval's going to have to take care of.
Brindley Holt for three. Opened up a 16-2 advantage for Laval. Saskatchewan struggling, shooting just 1 for 10.
But to Kira's point moments ago, Laval's getting out on the break, but we just saw there, just excellent ball move, the extra pass, find the open shooter in Brindley Holt. Never a bad option when you find the best shooter in the country.
Goodness, that was nice.
Carly Alstrom snaps a bit of a run for Laval. Alstrom, a third-team All-Star in Canada West.
That was the nicest footwork, my goodness.
Making shots like that look routine. Verrett plays give and go with Beaudry Blais. 6 to go in the shot clock. Verrett in the corner. Beaudry Blais for three. Short, and rebound snatched up by Murphy Weeb. Here comes a burst of speed. Grassick hands it off to Reeder. Her three is good. Logan Reeder off the bench with a big bucket. And that sends a bolt of adrenaline through the Huskies bench.
Well, it's been a story of the three-point line here in the early going. Laval 4 of 5 from long range. Huskies just hit their first right there. They're 1 of 6.
Verrett hits the bottom of the backboard. Aim Bear picks it up. And it will be Saskatchewan ball out of bounds. Last touch by Laval. So the Huskies able to squash that run.
But this is where Laval was so good on Thursday. When they got the lead against Alberta, Alberta pushed back, the crowd got into it. Didn't rattle the Rouge et Or at all. They were very calm, and certainly expect no different here today.
Alstrom with speed, lobs it up. Shot doesn't go, but however she is fouled, and she will go to the line as Brindley Holt picks up her first foul of the evening. Alstrom to the line.
Carly Alstrom, fifth-year player out of Calgary. The 2023 Canada West Player of the Year and first-team All-Canadian. This year on the third team. Her sister, Megan, well, she had been there just after you, Kira?
Yeah.
So Megan won 2 national titles with the Huskies.
Laval leads. Khalifi. To Beaudry Blais. To her left, bumps into Primo. Three-pointer by Fortin is short. Grassick there for the rebound. With speed for Saskatchewan. She's going to drive, draws a foul. And Saskatchewan now starting to steal momentum. Fortin excuse me, that foul is going to go against Khalifi, her first.
Well, and one of the best ways to get out of a shooting drought, I mean, she's not going to the line there, but is to go hard to the rim, get fouled, find your shot on the line, you know, crawl back a little bit when your shot isn't falling and find your shot at the same time.
Alstrom's three is good.
Yeah, just a little pick and pop in the corner, and Alstrom left open.
A 10-0 run for Saskatchewan. Beaudry Blais. Deflected out of bounds by Grasick.
One adjustment for Laval, considering the size of the Huskies. We're seeing a little bit more of Diarra. Didn't start once during the regular season, starts here today. Averages 8.7 minutes a game, but seeing more minutes here early.
Khalifi. Over to Lajoie, however, she is called for the travel. 2.5 remaining in the first. Grasick. 19-8 in that quarterfinal against Calgary. And another foul is called in the paint as Frederic Beaudry Blais picks up her first. And Saskatchewan slowly chipping away at this deficit. Have a chance to make it a little bit closer here. Grasick for three. Too strong. Khalifi in perfect position for that rebound, and here she comes across half. Verrett for three. Off the mark. And here comes Saskatchewan. Alstrom with speed. Takes a couple steps into traffic. That doesn't fall. Verrett with the rebound. Khalifi. Three-pointer for Verrett. Off the mark, Alstrom. Laval's gone a little bit cold in the last couple minutes. Reeder. Looking for help, finds Grasick. Reeder for three. That one is good, Logan Reeder. 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. 13-0 run from Saskatchewan makes it just a 1-point lead for Laval. Three-pointer by Lajoie. What a response by Laval. 19-15. And an offensive foul called against Grasick. It's going to be Laval ball with 1:03 remaining in the first.
Talked about Diarra seeing some minutes. Julia Denis also into the game. Did not play at all on Thursday. First-year player out of Saint-Augustin-de-Desmaures in Quebec. So again, some of that chess match going on here in Laval, knowing they don't quite have the size of the Huskies. You're seeing some changes in their rotation here in this first quarter, trying to match what the Huskies can bring size-wise.
Well, and so far the size hasn't really hurt
Hasn't
them
really
at all
been an
either,
issue,
right?
you're
Like
right.
they've been from hitting things from deep,
Yep.
and they've been getting offensive rebounds, but then they hadn't been converting when they were getting them either. So the size not really the problem right now, but you know how efficient Primo is when she gets in there, and if they start looking inside.
Yep.
So
Verrett. Khalifi for three is good, and I thought maybe Flindell got a piece of that. And Saskatchewan down by 7.
and I don't think that's the most comfortable shot for Khalifi either,
No.
but a big one.
Demong finds Dodig. 7 to go on the shot clock. Dodig spins underhand off the backboard, no good. Shot clock turned off. Here comes Laval. Khalifi. Beaudry Blais. 3 to go. She drives, chucks it up, no good, and Primo's just going to hold on to that. At the end of the first quarter, Laval finds themselves out in front, 22-15. And if you're a supporter of the Rouge et Or, you have to be thrilled with how that first quarter went.
Oh, I think you're ecstatic for two reasons. One, you got off to such a great start, up 16-2. But again, it's the response. Saskatchewan, huge run. They're down by 1. What happens? Laval, bang, bang, 2 quick threes. Suddenly you go into the quarter break, up 7. So, like we've talked about, Laval just has a way to counterpunch. They don't get rattled. And in an environment here where you've got the best team in the country making a big run at you, no worries. We'll just go knock down a 3. Oh, knock down another one. You mentioned Khalifi, 21% three-point shooter. Good scorer, but not a big three-point shooter. Knocks down a big one for them.
Yeah, I think that was the most impressive part for me, too. Like you said, they weathered that comeback, and then were still able to extend it a little bit. It's that confidence. They're confident in who they are and what they're capable of doing and in their offense, and it shows in those big moments, and it showed on Thursday against the Pandas. The one thing that I will say that's kind of a nice bonus for the Huskies is a bit of a quiet quarter for DeMong. No, not a whole. Didn't see a ton from her in terms of like scoring, but also like you see at least a steal early on in those games too. She had that first layup, that back cut off the from the baseline, but other than that, hasn't really done much. And so I think she's a tough matchup when it comes to Laval as well. And if she starts to come to life, things will open up.
Well, and I thought she was a huge spark early in the game on Thursday against Calgary was DeMong for the reason, because she does so many things well. She can score, she can defend her. She's always around the ball, stripping balls away, but a bit of a quiet quarter for her.
Keep the car running. That was one of the fastest first quarters that we've seen this entire weekend.
Yeah.
Both these teams came to play the number 1 seed Saskatchewan Huskies and the number 4 seed Laval. A winner gets a date in the gold medal matchup tomorrow afternoon. As they're going to look inside the Huskies huddle. Maybe not a place they're overly familiar with, being down by 7 after the first quarter. They're going to be tested, and Laval certainly came out swinging in that first frame. We'll see what kind of response the Huskies have. We are getting set to get underway in the second quarter. Dodig for the Huskies. Flindell. DeMong. Tough pass to Primo, goes off the glass and in. Really difficult pass by DeMong, and Primo made no mistake. Saskatchewan continues to chip away at this deficit.
Such good patience by Primo there too, like a wonderful find, but just a nice little ball fake, made sure she had control of it. Makes sense why she's 60% from the field.
Beaudry Blais, left hand, short. Grasick with speed. And there is a collision behind the play. Looked like Beaudry Blais hit the deck, and Maya Flindell picks up her first foul of the evening.
Yeah, I think we were all looking up the floor, so I didn't.
I kind of saw it, but I thought it was more like incidental contact, but I didn't see it well enough to actually have a judgment call on it.
Barrett.
It's too bad. That was a nice 2-on-1 opportunity for the Huskies.
Fortin took one step too many. She is called for the travel.
We have seen so many of those this weekend or this week. Just not putting the ball down soon enough, and you as a coach here must drive you crazy. Those little things where you, again, as a player, you want to get going, so the feet start moving before the ball does. But I bet you we've seen 100 of those calls here so far in this tournament.
Well, and it can be one of the most frustrating things is it can be so different throughout the course of a season as
True.
well, like the way that it gets
agreed.
called. So you can get away with it all year until you get here, and then all of a sudden they're picking up on everything, and it can be hard, but got to be able to adapt. It's also why that footwork that Ahlstrom did earlier was so impressive.
Barrett. 6 to go in the shot clock. Beaudry Blais, got to do something with it fast. And she runs right into 2 jerseys, and a foul was called. Andrea Dodig, the guilty party. That's number 2. She has a look of disbelief on the floor.
There's a foul there, but Laval does such a great job attacking the gaps, and that's a good read early. Dodig gets over, maybe just a slight bit late, but that's something to be aware of, just how well Laval attacks those gaps.
Great play on defense by Saskatchewan to cause that turnover. DeMong fires over to Grasick. She drives and she is fouled.
You almost wish they don't call that because it's a bucket.
Well, Baudry Blais looked, she just stumbled, just kind of got a hand out, just trying to slow Grasick down, and that's the second foul on Baudry Blais. Third leading scorer on this Rouge et Or squad.
Timeout called with 8:25 remaining. Watching semifinal Saturday. It's the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Laval leads, 8:25 remaining in the second quarter. Been an exciting back and forth affair. Laval got out to a 16-2 lead at one point in the first quarter, almost stolen by Holt. Deflected out of bounds, so Saskatchewan will do it all over again. Grasick. Lindell, 5 to go. Launches a three, short, Primo, great offensive rebound, goes up, too strong. DeMong, another great offensive rebound, a wall of white jersey swarmer. She spins off the glass and in. Taya DeMong has a chance to complete a three-point play and tie this game.
Taya DeMong starting to heat up here a little bit, doing all the things she does. Just got a great look there on that footwork, spins back after going into traffic, grabbing that rebound. And Taya DeMong, the Hinton, Alberta native, played her high school basketball in Metro Edmonton out at St. Albert High.
We're tied at 22. A 20-4 run by the Huskies to bring us to this tie. Barrett, very explosive player for Laval. Drives to her left, kicks it out. Fortin for three. That is good. Big response by Laval. Puts them back up by three. These teams exchanging haymakers.
Yeah, tough match out on the perimeter there for Saskatchewan. Barrett making sure she uses it to her advantage.
Reeder fights free. Zips it back out to DeMong. Too strong on the three. Almost gets her own rebound. We'll see whose possession is, and it will be Laval. The Saskatchewan fans in attendance disagree.
We'll get a great look at it right here. Off that replay, might have a case for it going off Fortin, but that's a tough call.
Even just the physical, like the bump there, to me it should have been Sask ball, but.
Barrett, what a move to her right, kicks it out to Holt. Holt can't get that to fall. And out of bounds, and will be Saskatchewan possession.
Yeah, just a little bit out of control on that take. Right idea, just needed to be a bit more composed.
I haven't seen that from a coach. Guillaume Giroux, like literally
Showing her the footwork.
exactly what the footwork is. So you see coaches often talking to their players. I haven't seen full-on demonstrations very often. Kira, you might have to pull that out.
I do that.
Okay,
yeah,
there you
I
go.
do that. I definitely do that.
Perfect.
I'll be doing footwork, showing them shot fakes, like, just do this, exactly this.
Laval leads by 3. Verrett has 5 of those 25 points. Also has 4 rebounds. Now she's got 7 points.
That screen at the top really causing lots of havoc for the Huskies right now. She uses it so well. There's so much space up there.
Grasick fouled. And that is going to send the third-year guard to the line for 2. Verrett picks up her first foul.
Grasick 75% free throw shooter on the season.
Even saying the third-year guard and then seeing how many years both of these teams have left, they end up playing out their 5. Be a rematch and a rematch and a rematch at nationals over and over again. Carleton too, I think they've got quite a few returners next year as well.
Seems like a common theme of all teams participating in this tournament. Of course, there's a couple graduating players, but these teams can really just roll forward into next year. Verrett with a burst of speed, kicks it out to Fortin for 3. Puts a little too much on it. Grasick tumbles with Aimbert. Head up by Demong. Grasick. Nice move there by Grasick. Reeder for 3, short. Aimbert with the rebound.
It's a tricky thing too with Saskatchewan and Laval. Like, you don't want to send too many to the glass and then have Laval run out in transition, because they were doing that so well in the first. But you also want to be able to take advantage of the fact that you're bigger, and you gotta occupy that space.
Holt and Demong collide. So the three-pointer hit the shot clock.
Yeah, and I think the whistle, that was Saskatchewan's argument. The whistle didn't go right away. That's a dead ball, obviously.
And a high contact play there as Holt popped right up.
Great close there by Grasick as she first hedged up on Verrett and then slid down to the corner to challenge that shot of Holt.
Strong pass to Ahlstrom. Her 3 falls. Big shot there by Carly Ahlstrom. She's the first player to reach double digits. She has 10, and her team is down by 2.
Good contest there too. Nice shot.
Khalifi. As Taya Demong charged with her first foul. As we have some substitutions. Maya Flindell and Ella Murphy-Weave check in for the Huskies, and Reeder and Primo take a seat.
Demong tries to go over top of that screen, and that quickness of Khalifi, she just ended up having to get a bit of a grab on her as the lane opened up.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Holt.
And they're trying to go over that screen.
Nice play by Holt, couldn't quite finish.
And it's tough because their guards are so quick and have such range.
Saskatchewan a chance to tie or take the lead. Ahlstrom aggressively takes it to the rack. Tied at 27, and Carly Ahlstrom looks to put the Huskies ahead. Saskatchewan struck first, but it's been all Laval since. Saskatchewan has a chance to take the lead here on a 3-point play.
That's just a great individual effort and read. You can see that's a great shot by our crew. You can see that little space, that gap open up, and she reads it, explodes through it, but then can not only take the contact, but has the nice touch to finish it off the window.
Saskatchewan out in front for the first time since early in the first, led by Carly Ahlstrom's 13. They lead 28-27. Fortin. And an offensive foul called against Fortin. Her first. But now Saskatchewan starting to force Laval to play the Huskies game.
Saskatchewan's first lead?
They led it super early in that first quarter, but Laval was able to strike back. And
haven't since then.
Yeah, Saskatchewan doesn't play from behind a whole lot. Nice dish. Murphy Weed runs right into two white jerseys.
That's going to go on Ambert as Fortin. Get a good look at it here. It's that little roll, and it's the foul from behind. Fortin was actually in really good position defensively.
Didn't need to bail her out like that. It was a nice play, but you had defender right there in front. Good contest, tough shot.
Yep.
Bailed her out.
Murphy Weed misses her first attempt.
Their best free throw shooter on the season at 81%.
1 for 2. And now Laval looking to draw even. Ambert hands it off to Lajoie. That goes off a foot. So Laval will do it all over again. Elodie Lajoie, second-team All-Star in RSEQ. Verrett to Khalifi.
Good defense.
DeMong watching her. Khalifi hits the bottom of the rim. Stingy defense by the Huskies, and here comes DeMong. Grasick finds Ahlstrom. Goes to her left. Ooh. Collides heavily with Fortin. And Fortin gets helped up by her teammates, but we've seen a couple heavy collisions.
Oh, this one's coming right into your living room. And Fortin kind of got caught in the traffic as Khalifi slid over too, and that forced Ahlstrom to try to squeeze through. Looks like both players, Fortin coming off, kind of grabbing the back of her head, so she did, and hopefully she's okay. Of course, understandably so concerned now in sport about, any hits to the head, so we'll keep an eye on her, but hopefully she will be all right.
Ahlstrom goes 2 for 2. 15 points for Ahlstrom. Already one more than her total in the quarterfinals. 3:20 remaining in the first half. Saskatchewan leads by 4. Beaudry Blais for 3. No good, but a foul called against Saskatchewan, so Laval will get it right back. Maya Flindell, foul number 2 on Flindell. Beaudry Blais to Holt. He's got 7 on the shot clock, being watched by DeMong. Holt from the Canada West logo. One too many passes by the Rouge et Or, and here comes Saskatchewan. Murphy Weed drops it off to DeMong. He moves it to Grasick. Just out of reach of Ahlstrom.
Oh, and they had a matchup they liked there with Ahlstrom on the smaller Beaudry Blais, but bit of a misread as Ahlstrom had slid down to the block.
I couldn't tell, if because I saw Grasick was complaining about something. I don't know if she was asking for a tip ball or what, but it's a tough angle that she was trying to pass that in there too, right? Like, Ahlstrom didn't quite have solid position yet, a tough angle. It's a tough play. Right idea, tough play.
Verrett. Lajoie. Holt. Nice pass to Lajoie. Holt to Verrett. Grasick goes flying by. Too much on that by Verrett.
Verrett's just so quick. Just a nightmare to guard because just those quick little twitch moves that get you up in the air, get you leaning.
Ahlstrom's 3 doesn't get the friendly bounce. However, offensive rebound collected by Saskatchewan. We'll do it all over again. Dodig for 3. As great job by Ahlstrom to remain in bounds. Saskatchewan now having the way on the offensive glass. Beaudry Blais ends up with it. 1:45 left in the half. Fast-paced first half in semifinal number 1 here. Lajoie to Aimbert. Backs her way towards the glass. Size mismatch against Grasic, but she can't finish. Ahlstrom. Grasic thought about it. Dodig with her left hand, too strong. Beaudry Blais with the rebound, harassed by DeMong. Holt has some space, zips it out in the corner. Lajoie, Grasic goes flying by. Lajoie's three is good. That's a big shot for Laval. Makes it a 1-point game with under a minute left in the second.
She's hit some big ones from out there, like timely.
Yeah, it's not that she shoots such a high percentage, but you're right, Kira. It's just the time that the key moments that she knocks them down.
Grasic keeps it in bound, however, passed it right to a white jersey at Verrett. 7 points for Leah Sophie Verrett in this first half. Lajoie for three. Short. Murphy-Wiebe there for the rebound.
Good example, one of those nice sets up top to open up Lajoie for a pretty good look at another triple.
About a second and a half between the shot clock and the game clock. Grasic being watched by Verrett. Got to force something up soon. Ahlstrom for three. Too strong. And a foul is called. Elodie Lajoie bumped into Ella Murphy-Wiebe, and with 2 seconds left. Not the best time for a foul if you're Laval.
Especially on their best free throw shooter.
Absolutely. So Ella Murphy-Wiebe with a chance to extend this lead as halftime looms.
But it's a trait of Husky teams that, again, Murphy-Wiebe just keeps her feet moving, just knows where that ball is, keeps her feet moving. I mean, it's an unfortunate foul on Lajoie because she didn't really see her, but it's just that effort play that Saskatchewan's so well known for.
Goes 1 for 2, and that will do it at half. Saskatchewan claws back as they lead 32-30. And that was an excellent first half of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, just two good teams, frankly, doing what they're both really good at. I just thought Laval played, especially early, that quick pace, opened up their shooters, and they knocked down shots. But the nice thing for Laval is that even when Saskatchewan pushed back, Laval just kept coming. They just, every time when we talked, one of the keys to the game was that don't let Saskatchewan get away. There were a few moments where it looked like the Huskies might be able to do that. Laval didn't let them. That's a real testament to what Laval was able to do in that opening half.
Definitely, it's that confident response, just like we saw against the Pandas, right? Like they were down a decent amount in that first quarter, but that energy, that confident aggression just never went away, and it's the same thing here. Like they come back from having a pretty decent lead, and the Huskies crawl their way back, but it doesn't seem to shake them, you know? Like they hit big shots when they needed to. Different girls hitting big shots as well. You know, like Khalifi hit that really nice three, or hit a big three anyways, and not something that she's necessarily known for on a team that has a lot of shooters. And so, you know, they've all come to play. One of the things that I feel like I noticed in that first half is Laval really struggles when they get it into the paint, right? The Huskies' size and strength and the amount of support that they send, if they have the awareness, like they really do struggle. And Verrett has, you know, had a bit of an issue with the size disadvantage, so they need to continue to play their game, which they have been, and I have no doubt that they will, but getting it into the paint is not something that they're going to want to look for, and so hopefully they stay hot from beyond the three.
As we take a look at some of the stats through the first half, I'll ask you if anything jumped out to you, but to me, both these teams love to feast off mistakes of the other team, and either team really made a ton of mistakes. 8 turnovers by Laval and just 7 by Saskatchewan. Points off turnovers, Saskatchewan has 6, Laval has 7. Neither team's really turning the ball over. That's what jumps out to me. Doug, what's jumping out to you through 2 quarters?
Yeah, I would agree with that. As I look at this, rebound numbers pretty even. The offensive rebounds, it looked at times like Saskatchewan might run away with that, give themselves those second chance opportunities, but just 7-4 on the offensive glass. So despite the size challenges that Laval has, they're battling pretty hard, not giving those second chance opportunities to the Huskies. So from that perspective, that's a really good sign here in this first half for the Rouge et Or.
Well, and looking at the field goal percentage for Laval, like they're 18% from the field right now, which kind of just builds on the point that I said they don't really want to take it inside, but 50 from the three. Like that is tremendous first half shooting, 8 for 16. Huskies a little bit below average, 25% from the three, not too crazy, but they did get a little bit hotter in that second quarter. That first quarter they were just ice cold, but started to catch it a little bit in that second. But it would amaze me if Laval stayed 50% from the three. So that's a little bit of a scary stat in terms of their offense moving into the second half.
Well, especially against the second best team defensively against the three-point shot in the country in the Saskatchewan Huskies. I have a feeling that'll be a big part of the conversation in the Saskatchewan room here over the break.
Saskatchewan leads 32-30 at the half, semifinal number 1. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports. We'll be back in 10 minutes to get you set for the second half between the Huskies and the Rouge et Or.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Southwest with the ball. Good steal by the Blizzard. Now they're breaking out. Wholesale substitutions. Nice pass there. Claire has the ball. Claire for three. So close. Oh, I wanted that look. Emily leaves it for Aaron. Aaron pass over to Olivia. Olivia dribbling nicely. Perhaps a future Panda on the court. There's a shot. 2-point basket. Scored by 14. Michelle. Great use of the free arm there. Naya with it. Underneath the basket. It's up. Oh! 2-point basket. Georgia. Right there under the basket. So close. Great pass. Good teamwork. Blizzard taking it on their own DJ this evening, DJ James Taylor.
Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. U Sports, Global News, Wilson, TVA Sports. Can you hear me, TVA Sports? This is for you. Check, check, check. What do you think? How are we sounding? Okay. All right. I'm gonna put her back up.
Welcome back inside the Laval Community Sports Center. We're at half. Saskatchewan find themselves up 32-30. Mark Majot joined alongside Kira Lyons and Doug McLean. And before we get going in the second half, let's revisit some of those keys to the game. We'll start with Laval. Kira, your key to them was playing with pace, and while they did that in the first quarter, they maybe got away from that during the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Saskatchewan also adjusted their defense. They were getting back more, sending less to the rim on their offensive glass, and so they were able to kind of slow them down. But I do think Laval wasn't looking for it quite as much either. They were getting more into their sets, and like I said, they have a really good offense in the half-court, quarter-court as well. So like they were getting more to that, but I do think it was what was making them successful at the beginning.
And Doug, for the Huskies, you said they had to limit the transition 3-4 Laval. And while they were able to do that to an extent, Laval shooting 50% from beyond the arc, that's a problem for the Huskies.
50%. I mean, and I think the issue in the first quarter was the transition threes. The second quarter, when the Rouge et Or were knocking them down, it was out of the half-court offense. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They all count. But I think if you're Saskatchewan, you'd prefer to get back in the half-court, force Laval to work through things to get the open looks rather than give them easier looks in transition. Saskatchewan took those away as the half went on, but they have to be much better running the Rouge et Or off the three-point line here in the second half.
20 minutes to go. Winner gets a date in tomorrow's gold medal final. As that was an excellent first half between these two teams. And we're hoping for more of the same in half number two. Another terrific crowd here. Been great crowds all week long. We've been chatting about how good of a job the organizers have done and how good the basketball community has been coming out, watching these games, watching some extremely talented student athletes. We are moments away from getting underway. Leah Sophie Verrett to inbound. She has a team-high 7 points. Also a team-high 4 rebounds. And you wouldn't know it listed at just 5'3". Plays like she's 6'8" at times. We are underway. 20 minutes to go in semifinal number 1. Khalifi to her left. 4-10. 10 uses the glass. That's a perfect start for Laval. We're deadlocked at 32.
And good to see Fontaine back too after that collision in the opening half.
Ahlstrom. Demong. It's great defense there by Laval. We'll see whose possession is. It will remain Saskatchewan ball. It's right in front of the Laval bench, so they disagree, as do the Laval fans that made the trip out west. Ahlstrom. Off the glass and in, and how many times have we seen that tonight? Carly Ahlstrom with a chance for a 3-point play.
That's such a tough shot with your left hand.
Well, look what she does. She almost cradles the ball with her left hand to deal with the contact and then puts it up. And is able to get that nice touch off the window. That's so tough to do.
Well, nice little inbounds there to pull that help side out. Draw the help from the big so that if she came over, she would have had Primo right underneath the rim for a little dump down. Didn't even need it.
Ahlstrom misses the free throw, but Saskatchewan gets the offensive board, and then Demong laid it in, so a 4-point advantage for Saskatchewan. Stolen by Dodig, timed perfectly to knock it to the backcourt. Khalifi now with a burst of speed, zips it out in the corner. Verrett. Baudry Blais for 3, too strong. Aimbert collides with Demong. And that's going to be foul number 2 on Théa Demong. As Elodie Lajoie checks back in for the Rouge et Or. Khalifi directing traffic. Verrett thought about a 3, puts her head down, puts it on the floor to Baudry Blais. Back to Khalifi. Baudry Blais for 3. No good. Primo. Didn't even need to leave her feet for that rebound. Finds Demong.
Sorry, Mark. Laval's gone away a little bit from that size matching they were trying to do. They've gone smaller here with this lineup.
Tough shot there by Demong. Doesn't go. Primo misses. And now Laval with numbers. 5 against 3. Khalifi curls. Lajoie being pestered by Demong. Khalifi.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the adjustments that Sask make now that it's a bit more small ball.
Baudry Blais down the lane, a nice touch there. Makes it a 2-point game. Gressick to Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom gets bumped. That hits the LED board along the baseline. It will be Laval ball.
There's one of the adjustments. Primo comes out. They put in Murphy Weeb. Gives him some length, maybe a little bit more quickness.
Verrett.
And able to just switch everything as well.
Baudry Blais, her 3 is short. Aimbert fights for the rebound. Does a good job to attract attention and draw the foul. And Théa Demong now with 3 fouls, and that's big.
Yeah, 2 tough ones. Like, she wasn't going to be getting anything on either of those, so it's tough.
Going to remain in the game at least momentarily with 3 fouls. Khalifi lobs it over to Lajoie. Nice looking stroke there by Elodie Lajoie. Puts Laval back in front. They lead by 1.
Big shots from her, big shots.
Gressick to her right. Ahlstrom looking for a response, and she finds it. Carly Ahlstrom, 20 points. 39-37, the Huskies lead. Khalifi Lajoie. Khalifi to her right. We've seen her try that pass a few times. Lajoie short. Demong battles with Khalifi and ends up in the hands of Grasic, who moves it quickly to Dodig. Dodig has Murphy Weep calling for it. Tip just out of the way by Imbert. Great defensive play by Laval. Now Khalifi. Underhand to Baudry Blais. She is called for the travel with 6:34 remaining in the third. Tay Demong will take a seat with her 3 fouls as Logan Reeder checks back in.
Well, there you see both teams doing what they do well. Yeah, Khalifi does a great job just pushing it up the floor, really trying to test Saskatchewan. But what Grasic does a great job stopping the ball, just fundamental things. Don't let her get into the paint. That's where you often see Laval go. They'll kind of probe. Verrett does it all the time, able to probe in the paint, kind of draw attention to her, and then look to see where she wants to attack. But that job, Grasic really blew it up as Khalifi tried to do the same thing.
Grasic looking like Khalifi with that pass. Logan Reeder in the corner for 3. That's going to be short. Holt there for the rebound, and here come the Rouge et Or. Lajoie. Verrett being guarded by Dodig. Verrett runs on the baseline, puts on the floor to Imbert. 2 green jerseys swarm Imbert, and it will be Saskatchewan ball. Great stifling defense by Saskatchewan.
Well, it's one of those things that's a good play by Verrett. She goes baseline, recognizes she draws the 2 defenders, that little bounce pass into Imbert. But the thing is, if you don't get it clean, because Saskatchewan will close so quickly on you, you just don't have the chance to recover and try to make a play with it.
Well, one of the things I really like about watching Verrett, like outside of her skill set, is her leadership on the floor. She's always talking to her teammates, always giving them direction, instruction. Like even on that one, she was telling her, you got to go up right away. You know, you can't wait. You got to get that ball high and you got to go up. And she was showing her that earlier, you know, physically showing her teammates the things that she wants them to do or what she's expecting of them. And it's impressive. And you see her leadership in every ounce of her game.
Holt loses it, gets it back, can't remain in bounds as Laval turns it over in Saskatchewan. Likes what they're seeing so far. Timeout called, 5:26 remaining. You're watching Semifinal Saturday on the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
U Sports. Check out Verver.com for all your medical supply product needs.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Welcome back inside the Saville Community Sports Center where the Saskatchewan Huskies lead the Laval Rouge et Or 41-37 in our first semi-final of this tournament. It's been a fantastic first 2.5 quarters. These two teams going back and forth like two heavyweights. Gage Grasic.
Bit of a press.
Yeah, first time we've seen that here today from Laval.
Aggressive defense coming out of that media timeout is Andrea Dodig. Nice dish to Reeder. Fakes to her left
nice
and the lane opens up. And Logan Reeder has her 8 points on the game. And if that's going to be open, she's going to take that all night.
Well, and what a seal by Murphy Weep there, too, just to hold on to it, to keep that lane open. And great recognition by Reeder to just take that to the rim.
And Denis never recognized. She's in full out fronting, trying to take Murphy-Wiebe away.
And another turnover, Saskatchewan. This is their largest lead of the evening. They lead by 6. Laval once led by 14 in the first quarter. And Saskatchewan has roared back. Ahlstrom for 3. Put a little too much on that one. Ahlstrom has 20 points.
That might have been the most open she'd been on the 3. Has had too much time.
Verrett is fouled. That's going to go against Logan Reeder. So Logan picks up her first foul. And substitutions. As Julia Denis coming off. Tara Aimbert checks back in for Laval.
The help side awareness has to be so good when Verrett has the ball because she's so quick. But if you have any presence in there, because of her size, it makes it really difficult for her to finish. So if you have a help side presence, but if not, she's going to blow by you and she's going to get a layup because that first step of hers, and she's so tricky.
Reeder picks up her second consecutive foul, so 2 in about 5 seconds of gameplay. Aimbert and Grasick tie up. And I don't think Laval realizes it's their possession. They were already down the floor getting set in defense. Official saying, come on back, no, it's your ball. As Murphy ties it up again, now it's Saskatchewan ball. A little bit of confusion there.
Verrett rallying her teammates here.
Yeah, I've seen her do that a couple times so far tonight. So far this weekend, I should say. Ahlstrom hands it off to Dodig. Reeder, 7 to go in the shot clock. 3-pointer by Grasick is good after a quiet first half. Gage Grasick has 5 points in this third quarter. And it's now a 9-point advantage for the Huskies. Verrett runs right into Grasick and is fouled. That is foul number 2 for Grasick.
And didn't need to do that either. Had good position on her here. And then just drops the hammer with that right hand right there. Ah.
A few words between Grasick and Verrett.
I like it.
Yeah. Now Verrett at the free throw line, 75% on the season for the native of Quebec City. Played at Cégep Sainte-Foy, as did many players. We mentioned that the other day. Baudry Blais, Audrey Belland, Catherine Champagne. We haven't seen her yet today. Florence Fortin as well.
Those are 2 big shots for Laval. You get the sense that Saskatchewan was starting to stretch this lead, but those are a big 2 points by Verrett.
Seems to be a bit of a theme later in this game. Every time you think that maybe Saskatchewan's gonna, start to pull away a little bit, Laval hits a big shot or does something big.
Reeder, nice dish to Murphy-Wiebe, and she draws the foul and a chance for a 3-point play. Big bucket there by Ella Murphy-Wiebe.
What a pass.
Great look. Reeder just forces that help over as Ambert has to slide over to help out Khalifi, and as that post defender, it's always that decision. Do you go, do you stay home?
Khalifi, 5 points on the night. Hands it off to Baudry Blais. Aimbert calling for it, ends up wide open. Really nice execution there by the Rougeors.
Yeah, that was really nice.
3:10 remaining in the third. 49-41, Saskatchewan leads. Grasick, baseline, stops, takes what she's given.
Well, we mentioned it on Thursday. That's, to me, one thing that separates the Huskies from most teams, just how well they finish at the rim. Whether you're big or you're small, they do not miss a lot in the paint.
It will be Laval ball after the officials had a meeting of the mind. At first it was initially Huskies ball, but it will be Laval.
Little touch, I think, on the hand of Carly Ahlstrom. Good job by the officials to just confirm that one. Not much of a hit.
Barrett. Khalifi. Up and under. And a foul's called, so Logan Reeder now in foul trouble. That is foul number 3.
I don't know, I agree with that one.
And that will send Sabrine Khalifi to the line. Should have mentioned too, she also played at Cégep Sainte-Foy. Member of the RCQ first All-Star team. This past year was second team a year ago, rookie team the year before that. So she's just, where can you go after being on the first team? Do you just stay, yes, she might need to take over from her teammate Verrett as the league MVP.
Well, we mentioned it earlier. Laval can essentially bring back their entire roster next season. No graduating players.
On a team that's won 4 RSEQ titles in the last 5 seasons, they are certainly poised to do that more often in the next couple.
Dodig. Reeder. A long three-pointer is going to be short. Khalifi there for the defensive rebound. Almost loses it, but regains possession as she crosses half. Turns on the Jets. Fires a dart over. It ends up in the hands of Fortin. Swarmed by 3 green jerseys. Turns it over, and here come the Huskies. Reeder. Slow things up. Dodig, Grasic. Fortin goes flying back. Murphy Weeb gets her own rebound. However, loses the handles. Khalifi has that poke loose from behind. Ahlstrom there.
Murphy Weeb just working so hard in there, getting touches, like even that, just being able to poke it from the back when you think that it's lost. Those second effort things make such a difference. You need those players.
Grasic to Ahlstrom for 3. Off balance 3 doesn't fall. Aim Bear in position for the rebound. 1:30 left in the third. Saskatchewan leads by 8. Barrett.
No lead feels safe against this Laval team because they just, you know that they can score a bunch in no time flat.
Khalifi with a really nice response there. She's got 9. Just over a minute remaining in the third. Grasic being watched by Verrett. They've been going at it all game long. Nice pass to Dodig. 6 to go in the shot clock. 3 to go. Reeder. And they run out of time. That's not going to count shot clock violation. First one of the game, I do believe, and that's a far cry from what we saw on Thursday.
Yeah, that was, I'd never seen anything like that.
Well, that shot clock got a workout.
Holy.
Numbers, you don't see it often get down to 3-2-1, but happened a ton as you get a look there at Laval head coach Guillaume Giroux in his 9th season. A record of 189-60 overall. 3 U Sports silver, 2 bronze, looking for his first ever goal.
Beaudry Blais. 6 to go. Being watched by DeMong. Up and under.
Wow, nice finish.
Bucket there by Beaudry Blais, making it look easy.
Well, and DeMong has to be so careful because she's in a little bit of foul trouble too, and I think she did a wonderful job, but just a nicer finish.
Grasic loses it, however, it goes off a foot, so it will remain Husky ball. Shot clock turned off with 10.5 seconds remaining.
What a battle between those two, just back and forth. I mean, Verrett just relentless defensively, knowing as well how quick Grasic is, and the same the other way around.
Well, they've been going at it all night long. Time for one last shot for Saskatchewan. They lead by 4. Grasic off the glass, no good, and that will do it. That's not going to count. And at the end of the third quarter, Saskatchewan leads 51-47. A back and forth affair. Laval hanging around as Saskatchewan not able to pull ahead. You're watching Semifinal Saturday, the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
back inside the Saskatchewan Community Sports Center. We're through three-quarters. Saskatchewan finds themselves out in front of Laval, 51-47 in semifinal number one. This has been a back-and-forth affair. Carly Ahlstrom has a game-high 20 points. Meanwhile, Laval has a very balanced attack on offense. Frederick Beaudry-Blais has a team-high 10 points. They have 3 players with 9 as well. And really, these two heavyweights going back and forth, just exchanging haymakers.
I really thought that it would be a more high-scoring game. Yep. I didn't think that Laval was going to be able to keep Sask at such a low number. Like, really, Ahlstrom's got 20, but then, you know, you look at the supporting cast, nobody else has hit double digits yet, and that really surprises me. So good on Laval for being able to do that. And it doesn't surprise me coming from Sask, such a defensive team. But Laval's cooled off a little bit from the three-point line, but really not a whole lot. They're still shooting 43%, but now they're starting to make their layups and get some actual field goals inside the arc, which is making them pretty dangerous right now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kira. I mean, you look at number 2 and number 3 best defensive teams in the country coming in, and we're getting a bit of that, but I know I've said this a few times, I'm just so impressed by how Laval, when Saskatchewan looked at a 9-point lead, you're thinking, okay, this might be where Saskatchewan starts to run away. Nope, they don't. Laval always has an answer, and they've just found ways, and they've managed to keep the size issue out of the play of this game for the most part. It has not been a big factor here today.
An offensive foul called against Verrett, and something that our statistician Patrick Erickson just pointed out. Gage Grasick has played every single second of this game so far, and Leah Sophie Verrett has been sitting for a minute 21. They've been going at it all game long.
And those aren't easy minutes.
No.
I mean, both bringing the ball up, both having to deal with each other. So those are not easy minutes.
Ahlstrom's 3 is short. As Khalifi cross half for Laval with speed. Aimbear. They're back to the basket, hands it off to Verrett. Verrett bumped by Primo. She goes down, a big size mismatch there. 6 foot going up against 5'3". So that is foul number 2 for Courtney Primo. And, well, that's one way for Laval to get back into the game, is start hitting some free throws.
Yeah, that was tough. Not a whole lot else Primo could have done there. But as much as Verrett's size could be a disadvantage sometimes in a matchup like that when you're going with some speed, I mean, she showed it, and as a veteran move, you know, there was contact there, and she made sure the ref saw it.
The irresistible force meets the immovable object as she goes 1 for 2. Grasick drives right, runs right into Aimbear, zips it back to Ahlstrom. She's going to try left hand. What a dish! Courtney Primo makes no mistake, but what a pass by Carly Ahlstrom.
And even that play by Grasick to be able to come to a stop there, stay balanced, not travel, be able to kick it and then reverse it to the opposite side, get the attack. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful basketball.
Verrett, 4-10 for 3. That misses just to the right. And that rebound gets tipped right to Grasick.
A good hustle by Flindell there. She wasn't going to be able to come up with it, so she made sure she tipped it to her teammate.
DeMong. Flindell, high traffic area, shot doesn't fall. Leah Sophie Verrett, 10 points for Laval. Beaudry-Blais to her left. 7 seconds to go, being guarded by Primo. Corner, 3-4 Verrett, off the side of the backboard. And we're gonna have a shot clock violation. And it will be Saskatchewan ball. Huskies lead by 5 with 8:01 remaining in the 4th.
A great contest by Grasick there.
Primo back out of the game. They go back with Murphy Weeb.
Was it Grasick that contested that other one that went off the shot clock as well?
Yes.
It was,
yeah. It's a underrated skill.
Flindell loses the handle, as Laval has had 8 24-second violations in the tournament, 6 against Alberta and 2 so far tonight. 7:43 remaining. Saskatchewan has a bit of time, but they are going to have to hurry. Ahlstrom great game by Ahlstrom. It's Grasick. Three, he's got to chuck something up. And I don't think Saskatchewan realized that the shot clock was expiring, and here comes Khalifi, and they're going to blow that dead. They had pace, but they're going to slow it down and go back. Guillaume Giroux not pleased with something on the floor.
Well, I think it was the whistle went, the wide side, the opposite side official blew it down on the shot clock violation. And that's always one of those ones, do you let it go, do you blow it down? I think, and she even said, that's my fault. She looked, I mean, that's not going to be comfort for Guillaume Giroux at this point, but.
Audrey Blais looking to keep her team in it, shot doesn't go. Fortin is fouled. And she is holding the back red. We saw her get, bonked. She hit the hardwood earlier. More importantly, that's foul number 4 on Thea Damong. And Fortin appears to be in some discomfort as she prepares to shoot free throws. Neither team really going deep into their bench either. It's been kind of a group of 7 or 8 for both players. As Brinley Holt whispers some words of encouragement to her teammate.
Fortin at the line during the regular season, 10 appearances, just 4 trips to the line. Was a member of the Carleton Ravens a year ago with their national title team, 15 appearances, 6.1 points a game.
She drains balls, makes it a 3-point game. So if you're a Laval supporter, you're thrilled you're keeping it close. And if you're a Saskatchewan supporter, they just haven't been able to really pull away that we've seen just yet. It's been a treat to watch Verrett and Grasick go toe-to-toe in this one. Murphy Weeb lobs it to Ahlstrom. She's been the X factor this one. That's 22 points. None easier than that. Makes it a 5-point advantage for Saskatchewan. Khalifi looking for a quick response.
Great play, just lost it going up.
Murphy Weeb doing lots of good things out there right now.
Ahlstrom long to Murphy Weeb had a big game in the gold medal matchup in Canada West against the Pandas. Playing a big role tonight for the Huskies.
Like even she's getting on perimeter players, she's having to defend. Even that last play on Khalifi, that was her. She got a hand on that ball, dug in. She's doing lots of really good things, lots of second effort things.
Khalifi, 3 to go. Fouled. Had a chance to go in. Oh, it's going to be an offensive foul. Or travel, excuse me. One step too many. So a break there for the Huskies. They lead by 5 with 6:24 remaining.
Yeah, Khalifi's become a really important factor in this game. Again, as Saskatchewan done a better job taking Laval off the 3-point line, the speed of Khalifi going to the rim has been really important.
Grasick's 3.
Nice rebound.
Doesn't fall on Khalifi with speed. Holt. She is called for the travel. The momentum carried her a little too forward.
And even the bench saying, shoot it, she's open. So her teammates say, hey, you got it, don't worry about trying to take it inside.
Ahlstrom. Fantastic game for Ahlstrom. Oh, wow, cue the circus music. What a shot for Ahlstrom. 24 points on the night for the graduating Husky. 7-point advantage for Saskatchewan. Correct. Spins in traffic, too strong. Flindell there with the rebound. Holt pestering Flindell, and she is called for the foul, just a little too aggressive. And a timeout called. 5:31 remaining in the fourth. What a game we've been treated to. We'll take a look at some highlights as to how we got here. At one point in the first quarter, Laval was up by 14. But Saskatchewan has that championship DNA. They're able to fight back, and they lead by 7.
Well, you get a good, just some of the great work by a player like Verrett. But Saskatchewan certainly here in the second half doing a better job, as I said a moment ago, of getting Laval off the 3-point line. But we've seen more versatility in Laval's game than maybe we needed to see in the game on Thursday against Alberta, where that ability for them to penetrate and get to the rim, despite the fact they don't have the size of the Huskies, they've been able to get to the rim and get some opportunities inside.
Well, and I think a lot of that is Khalifi as well. She's been really aggressive with her dribble, and even just her wanting to attack and getting a couple of those hoops earlier. You have to play her differently now. And then the strategy on defense is you're on your heels a little bit and things change. You're forced into rotations a bit more, and they move the ball on the perimeter so well that if they get to the middle of the floor and kick it out, they get that pass out and they send that extra pass to another really good shooter. So it's not even just the inside presence, but they've had a couple of hoops inside, which then opens up the outside for them so much more.
There you get a look at the RCQ Player of the Year, Léa Sophie Verrette.
She's got 10 points on the night, 5 rebounds and 2 assists.
Yeah, 10 attempts at the three-point line from Laval in the first quarter, just 13 since. So a team that shoots it very well, second in the nation, but 19th in the nation in the regular season in attempts. So not a team that relies entirely on the three-point shot.
Grasick missed an open shot, but Murphy-Reeve, right place, right time, and sure you mentioned Ella Murphy-Reeve. She's playing a big role for the Huskies tonight.
She is, and she's played a lot of minutes as well. I mean, I'm sure that has to do a lot with DeMong being in foul trouble, but the minutes that she's getting are just very effective, doing lots of good things on defense, in the right place at the right time often. There again, just good defense, getting in the right place, good contest.
Yeah, Saskatchewan just squeezing the life out of Laval defensively. Leading by 9, Flindell looking to add to that. She can't do it. Now Verrette, under 5 minutes remaining. Still a lot of time. But if Laval wants to mount a comeback, it has to start right now. Khalifi. Puts it on the floor to 410. What a pass and
nice
what a finish. Really nice execution there by LaRouge, and they're still breathing.
Just stayed a little bit too long. Didn't need to help out quite as long as she did, but a nice pass by Khalifi to get that through.
Grasick fakes left, goes right, fires it to Flindell in the corner. Grasick, and she is called for the travel. One step too many, so a break there for Laval. 4:04 remaining. There you can look at some of the Laval fans that have made the trip out west.
And the amount of, there's always so many three-point threats out there for Laval, but yeah, it's stressful on the Husky defense.
Nice execution. Fortin can't finish, but a little too much on that. Ahlstrom with her head up across half. Played an inspired game. She has 24 points. Grasick directing traffic. Verrette comes way out to meet her. Pick set by Murphy-Reeve. Ahlstrom, 5 to go. For 3. Carly Ahlstrom, 27 points. Puts the Huskies up by double digits. They lead by 10.
So calm.
Khalifi. And an offensive foul called.
Yeah, she's just wrapping her arm a little bit on Grasick here. Right there.
Yeah, if you get that arm, sometimes you can hide it if you get it around the hip.
It came up high,
yeah,
though.
you get it around the shoulder.
Yeah.
No way you're getting away with that one.
Grasick drawing quite a few offensive fouls. Yeah, at least one on Verrette. I want to say there's been 2 others too, like that one on Khalifi and at least one other.
Now that 1-2-2 zone press again, but Huskies do a good job of breaking it quickly.
Yeah, they're confident bringing up the ball.
Grasick. Murphy-Reeve. Pass just out of reach. And a timeout called by Laval with under 3 minutes remaining, down by 10. In our first semifinal, Saskatchewan just slowly starting to stretch their lead. And they are 2:54 away from a date for gold tomorrow evening.
And like I said, no lead is big enough against this Laval team. Like, they just have so many weapons. from beyond the arc. It's 9-point game, could be a 3-point game in the span of no time.
Well, that's the thing, when you can roll out the number 1 and number 2 3-point shooters in the country, even though they have not had to rely on it here in the second half, it may become something with 2:54 to go that they have to start to look. Again, you don't want to force it, but you're going to try to find those open looks on the outside. And again, it's not just the two of them. We've seen Fortin, we've seen Baudry-Blais as well, able to knock down from long range, not to mention Verrette. So they've got weapons, as Kira, you mentioned. So certainly not without the realm of possibility for them to chip away at this lead pretty quickly.
Well, I think in this quarter especially, like, Saskatchewan's done a good job of taking away, well, like, has gotten better as the game gone on, taking away that 3, but now Laval has to score inside. They've had some pretty open looks that they've missed in key moments, and they have to be able to convert those, because that's what Saskatchewan's giving them in those moments, right? They're so worried about those players coming off screens out beyond the arc that they're giving up a little bit defensively inside, but Laval has missed a few bunnies and, you know, traveled and turned it over, and, you know, they need to be able to convert on those.
2:50 remaining, Laval down by 10. Baudry-Blais to Fortin. Spins, fires, too strong.
Tough shot.
Dodig to Murphy-Wiebe. And a foul called against Laval. Foul number 4 on Brynlee Holt. So something to keep our eyes on. Brynlee Holt on the floor with 4 fouls, and Taya Damong on the floor for Saskatchewan with 4 fouls. Dodig to Damong. 6 to go on the shot clock. Damong up and under, can't get that to go, but Dodig there for the offensive board. Kicks it out to Grasic, who finds Ahlstrom. Back to Grasic. Dodig in the corner. Great distribution here by Saskatchewan. Grasic to Ahlstrom for 3. That one off the side of the rim. 2 minutes remaining, Laval.
And just wanting to eat up that clock.
Fortin for 3. That one's short. Settling for not the best shots. That's Grasic across half. So impressed with the conditioning from Gage Grasic. He's played every single minute in this game. Murphy-Wiebe in the paint. Can't fall. And Damong. And that is going to be her night. That is foul number 5 for Taya Damong. So she has fouled out. It was close, and a great effort here by Murphy-Wiebe. And as it looked like Damong bumped Baudry-Blais.
7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals for Taya Damong.
And a collision as Grasic and Fortin collide. Laval scores, and Grasic's slow to get up. I missed what happened. I was following the gameplay, but Grasic was very slow to get up.
Back screen, nailed her on it.
90 seconds remaining. Dodig being swarmed by a pair of white jerseys.
Well done.
Murphy-Wiebe, Dodig. 5 to go. Grasic, 2. Got to get something up. Doesn't fall, but Murphy-Wiebe there for the rebound. However, the shot didn't touch the rim, so it will be Laval ball with 1:04 remaining, down by 8.
I mean, ideally that hits the rim so you're able to get that rebound, but like, you want to use the clock here. You want to be taking those last second shots. Yeah, she got absolutely hammered on a screen. Right, clock is your friend, and there you go, heads up.
You learn that lesson once, you know to look again.
Big bucket there by Fortin. Timeout called by the Huskies. 62-57. This has been a very physical game on both sides. Laval not going away. Saskatchewan not able to run away. With under a minute left, Saskatchewan holding on to a 5-point lead. What a game we've been treated to so far tonight.
When you have one of your leaders, Carly Ahlstrom, getting on her teammates, saying, hey, that's a shooter. We cannot leave Fortin open like that. So again, those little details here late in the game. And Kira, you said it. I mean, suddenly it's a quick 5-0 run. You're only down. It's a 2-possession game now with under a minute to go. So yes, for Saskatchewan to be able to kill some clock here over the last couple of minutes, but Laval's found a way to get back within 2 possessions yet again.
Yeah, like you still want to get a good shot, right? Like I said, no lead is big enough against this team because they're just so dangerous, like as they're showing. You still want to be able to get a good shot. Like that 3 from Ahlstrom was rushed and off, and then we weren't even able to get on the rim on Grasic's take. Like it was a decent take and a good attack, but got to be trying to get something good still, because you can't rely on just running the clock out, because they're going to score. Right, they're going to come down and they're going to score big. Like they're going to hit big shots like they have all game. You have to rely on that.
56.8 seconds left in regulation in semifinal number 1. Just a reminder, after this one, we'll have the number 2 seed Carleton Ravens take on number 6 seed Queens in our other semifinal. St. Mary's defeated Alberta today in the consolation final. Saskatchewan looking just to play keep away. Up by 5. Murphy Weave. You don't want to take a travel or an unnecessary turnover here for Saskatchewan. Grasic. With speed, kicks it out. Ahlstrom, 3. Could have been the dagger. Verrett with the rebound. Here comes Laval. Over 30 seconds remaining. Verrett chucks up a 3. That's going to be well short.
Well, and I was just about to say, if you're Laval, you've got enough time. You need a quick look. You don't have to force a 3. And I mean, that's a 3 from probably 4 or 5 feet behind the arc.
Yeah, that was decently contested.
Dodig does a good job to find Grasic. She gets it right back across half. Flindell in the corner. Saskatchewan just playing keep away here.
Laval's got a foul. I was going to say, just no recognition by Laval. The press didn't really do anything. Saskatchewan did such a great job with their break. But then Laval just sagged back. They probably cost themselves 3 or 4 seconds before they actually attacked one of the ball handlers.
Gage Grasic at the line, 7 points. Just her second trip to the line, make that 8 points. A lot of the stuff that Grasic has done tonight won't show up in a box score, but so incredibly impressed with the battle we've seen between guards tonight in Grasic and Verrett. 2 for 2, and Laval's going to call timeout. Down by 7 with 16.1 seconds left. The Saskatchewan fans that have made the trip out are starting to realize they are 16 seconds away from a trip to the gold medal game.
But I think, to your point, Mark, there moments ago about the numbers from Grasic, we mentioned DeMong a few minutes ago. That's just 14 points combined between the 2 of them. Grasic comes into this game averaging 13 during the regular season, DeMong 14. It just speaks to the depth of this team. I mean, earlier in the playoffs, Grasic goes for over 20 one night, has 4 the next. They've just got so much balance, and on any given night it can be somebody else. And Laval's frankly not a whole lot different in terms of that balance that they have too. They don't have to rely on 1 or 2 scorers. They've got a lot of players that can chip in. We've seen that here. Pointe-Claire early, Fontaine tonight. So both teams in that sense have a lot of weapons that they can roll out.
And it makes sense. That's why they're both here.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? He's
exactly.
got lots of weapons and depth and different contributors all the time. It makes it really hard to defend teams like that, because you take something away and it's like, all right, well, we got this tonight. We got this tonight. And yeah, like even like the Flindell normally chips in quite a few as well. Just got 2 on the night. More offensive for them as well. But yeah, it just doesn't matter because Ahlstrom just get 30.
Tonight it's, that's right, 27 for her tonight. So Laval will need a quick look at a 3.
Yeah, can't foul here, can't foul here.
Verrett to Lajoie for 3. No good, tipped out of bounds, and it will be Saskatchewan ball with 8.7 seconds left. And that should do it.
And Coach Giroux saying no foul, no foul.
And the Saskatchewan Huskies, with a 64-57 victory, will play for gold tomorrow evening.
Final score in the semifinal, Laval 57, University of Saskatchewan Huskies 64.
Well, I think that's what a national semifinal should be. When you have a game like that really comes down to the last couple of minutes, Saskatchewan held the lead a good part of the second half, but really at any point, Laval in a position to strike. Hey, that's exactly what you want here at this point of the season. And great battle by both these teams. We talked about the fact they can play different styles. This one was a little more grinded out than we thought, to your point at halftime, Kira. But at the end of the day, the Huskies just had a little bit more in terms of that balance inside and out that, to me, allowed them to get this 7-point win.
And I think down the stretch, too, Laval just turned it over a few too many times, and Saskatchewan just doesn't turn the ball over very often, right? Like, they had 14, and Laval had 20, and that was enough, and they were travels in key moments, and, yeah, it just, you can't do that against the Saskatchewan team because they will make you pay, and all of those mistakes add up throughout the course of a game. The turnovers, the offensive rebounds, right? Like, they got out-rebounded offensively, and in total, like, Huskies with 12 offensive and 29 defensive, and Laval only with 8 and 38 overall, and all of those things just add up, and in these games, those little things make all the difference.
Take a look at the players of the game. Number 3 on both sides, Frederick Baudry-Blais was the player of the game for Laval with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And really no surprise for Saskatchewan, Carly Ahlstrom, 27 points and 5 rebounds. Ahlstrom, whenever they needed a bucket tonight, she was ready and willing.
I know she didn't win it this year, but it's tough to say she's not arguably the best player in the country. You know, you have a performance like that in the biggest moment of the season and potentially your career, and you show up with 27. It just goes to show why she is who she is for this team.
Yeah, and did it inside and out, knocked down some big threes, but we saw that touch and the strength she has and the power inside. So that's what makes her so difficult to defend. And Laval had a tough time with her tonight. So the size factor that we thought might play a role was less of an issue than I thought it might be tonight. So again, credit to Laval for their ability to defend so well in the paint.
Well, and I think not the size part necessarily, but DeMong being in foul trouble really, I think, changed the look of the Huskies and the way that Laval would play them as well, right? Like, she is such a massive piece to this team, and her not being able to play the minutes that they want her to changes things quite a bit. So good on them for being able to battle through that, and like you said, they just have so many weapons and they're so deep that they're able to combat those types of things.
We're going to be joined by Carly Ahlstrom post-game here. She's going to find her way through the maze here. She will have a seat here. She had 27 points. A great game. Well, Carly, congratulations on the victory. First question, how does it feel to be playing for gold tomorrow night?
It is such a big deal to be back in that game. We are just so excited. We've trusted ourselves this entire time, and it's just so exciting to be back playing for gold.
What was the message on the bench when you were down 16-2? That was a bit of a blitz by Laval early, but your bench seemed really, really calm. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, we were a little surprised at first, for sure. I think that shocked us coming right out the gate, but our coach does a great job in timeouts, keeping us level and finding a good game plan to move on.
Depth is something your team has had all season long, but I want to ask you one of your teammates. Gage Grassick played all 40 minutes tonight. What does it mean to your team to see your teammates go and sacrifice? Like, I bet she's absolutely bagged right now.
Gage is incredible, as is so many players on our team. We are just playing together. We are playing our best basketball right now. I am so privileged to play with all of them. They are giving it their all. I'm so proud of how far we've come since last season, and I'm just so ecstatic we have one more game together. They're incredible.
And last one for you, I mean, a Laval team that can come at you in different ways too. They shoot the three well, but they're impressive inside today. What did you learn about your team in terms of how you deal with a team that's as versatile as Laval?
Exactly, yeah. So we typically collapse a lot. That's our defensive principle. So we had to adjust to playing on the perimeter. And they're a great team. They're super dynamic, can play inside and out, and hit the three like crazy. So we really had to adjust and just play more on the perimeter.
Well, congratulations on the victory. Your team's had a lot of success playing in this gym tomorrow. Best of luck tomorrow in the gold medal game.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
It's Carly Ahlstrom, player of the game for Saskatchewan. 27 points, and I mentioned whenever they needed a bucket, number 3 was willing, ready, and able to score. We'll get some final thoughts from both you. Doug, I'll just start with you. Laval, valiant effort. They're going to play for bronze tomorrow. It felt like they just couldn't get a bucket when they needed to get a bucket.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. I think they they came out so hot, and like we talked about so many times over the course of the broadcast, every time you thought, oh, here's where Saskatchewan's going to make that run that's going to be tough to overcome, it never really came because Laval just kept finding ways to get back into it. But yeah, at the end, Saskatchewan just had more weapons, both defensively and offensively. The three-point shot went away in the second half, and Laval just could not find enough at the rim to keep themselves in it.
And Kira, I guess final thoughts from you. Saskatchewan will advance to the gold medal game. We're going to play the winner of Carleton and Queens tonight, but Saskatchewan, again, just another stifling performance on both offense and defense.
Yeah, you read my mind. They suffocate you. They suffocate you over a long period of time. They play 40 minutes and they play it hard. Every time you make a mistake, they take advantage of it. They convert when they need to. They hit big shots. And just over the course of a game, you can stick with them, but they just suffocate you. And by the end, you just don't have anything left. Like, Laval hit big shots in big moments for 3/4 of that game, right? Like, kept them within it, never really let Saskatchewan get away, but they just couldn't maintain that over 40 minutes because Saskatchewan just does such a good job everywhere on the floor, and it's an exhausting team to play against. And I mean, Laval did a valiant job and had a really good game. Like, that was probably the best game we've watched of this tournament. Saskatchewan's just really good. They're really good and have so many weapons, and they showed why they were #1 coming in tonight. Like, it's as easy, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I'm exhausted just watching that game. I still can't believe Gage Grassick played all 40 minutes. Saskatchewan punches their ticket for the gold medal matchup, 7:30 tomorrow night local time. They'll play the winner of Carleton and Queens. Laval will take on the loser of this game in the bronze medal. Well, let's wrap up our first semifinal. We'll get you set for semifinal number 2 on behalf of our excellent broadcast crew at the Laval Community Sports Center. On behalf of Kara Lyons and Doug McLean, I'm Mark Majot. Thank you for watching semifinal number 1. Come on back in 15 minutes, and we'll get you set for Carleton versus Queens.